Yes, in last class we started the discussion of the salts and its classification. Broadly, two types of classification based on the chemical nature and based on the strength of the acid and base. There we have covered already based on the chemical nature the types of salts. And in today's class we will continue the remaining classification of salts based on their strength of acid and base. In that first one, salt of strong acid, strong base. So, example for the strong acid, strong base. Strong acid, we can take HCl, the most common example here, and NaOH. Both are stronger in nature and they can undergo neutralization and they can form sodium chloride salt and undissociated water. And here this sodium chloride is called, it is a salt of strong acid, strong base. Similarly, few examples you can take: sulfuric acid, sodium hydroxide. You will get sodium sulfate. Again, sodium sulfate, here it is a salt of a strong acid, strong base. Like that, we can take few examples. You take nitric acid, calcium hydroxide. You can give calcium nitrate. So on. But come to the nature of this salt. So salt of strong acid and strong base, what kind of nature it has? I mean the resultant solution. Nature of resultant solution. Neutral. So in case of a strong acid, strong base, the resultant salt is having neutral in nature, means no litmus test. The type of salts will not give any litmus test. They are not sensible for the litmus test, we can say. And mostly this type of salts, the pH, the basic pH values, what about the pH, Nana? Any idea about the pH? Generally for acids it is less than 7 and for bases greater than 7 and for neutral equals to 7. This is generally at room temperature conditions. So similarly for salt which is made up of the salt from the strong acid and strong base and whose pH is almost equal to 7. So this few characteristic properties about the salt, that salt of strong acid, strong base, just you remember. We can generate, we can take so many examples. Why? Because we have the list of strong acid and list of the strong bases. Just you can take a neutralization reaction between those two, you will get the salt. Okay, this is one type. Second one, salt of weak acid and strong base. Again, you can take a list of weak acids and strong bases. Again, most common example in case of salt of weak acid and strong base is this one, acetic acid is the weaker acid. Again, if you combine with sodium hydroxide, neutralization, it can give sodium acetate plus water, and this salt we can call it is a salt of weak acid strong base. Like that, you can take some other examples. HCN, again you treat with sodium hydroxide, you will get sodium cyanide plus water, or else you can take carbonic acid and you will get sodium carbonate, water. So these are the few examples. Sodium acetate, sodium cyanide, sodium carbonate, they comes under salts of weak acid and strong bases.
Sir, is milk of magnesia a strong base or weak base, sir?
Magnesia comes under weaker base. Na? Okay, na? Now again, just like previous, the characteristic properties. What is the nature of the resultant solution? Acid is a weaker and base is a stronger. So ultimately the resultant salt should have the basic in nature. A resultant solution nature is basic, or the nature of that salt is basic, just like the previous. You can collect the as 3 points. Again here litmus test. For example, if you take the sodium carbonate and if you perform the litmus test, what happens? So this type of salts, they will convert, they turn red litmus to blue. Again pH value for this type of solutions, what is the pH? More than 7. So this is a few important points about the salt of weak acid and strong base. So in detail study about these salts, again we will discuss. We have one chapter is there, equilibrium. Already I told you in the first year physical chemistry, equilibrium we can discuss in 2 ways. One is the chemical equilibrium and ionic equilibrium. And this about these salts again we will discuss in detail, and their pH calculations, everything in the chapter of ionic equilibrium. Okay, na? This theory again, the concept again repeats. That is why better to remember the basic idea here. Next, third type. Salt of strong acid and weak base. Example, strong acid we can take HCl. Weaker bases, again most common example here, ammonium hydroxide. Most of the time we will take this one, and it can form ammonium chloride plus water. Again this ammonium chloride, here is the salt of strong acid and weaker base. Like that you can take so many examples. Sulfuric acid, ammonium hydroxide, you will get ammonium sulfate plus water, HCl. If you treat with ferric hydroxide, you will get ferric chloride, so few examples. All these comes under salts of strong acids and weaker bases. Again as usual, the nature of the resultant solution, acidic here. So here pH, acidic in nature, so it is less than 7. Again these basic points. This is about third type of the salts. Next one, fourth type, both salt of weaker acids and weaker bases. Again here the most common example for the salt of weak acid and weak base, we will frequently use this: acetic acid, ammonium hydroxide, a salt of weak acid and weak base. It can give ammonium acetate. So this is very commonly used example. Again the nature of resultant solution, and this is very important here. Nature of resultant solution we cannot predict directly here, that depends on the pKa, the acidic strength or basic strength of the weaker acid. See, anyhow acetic acid, ammonium hydroxide, they are the weaker, we know, but here acetic acid may be more weaker comparatively ammonium hydroxide, means compared to acetic acid maybe ammonium hydroxide little bit more basic, or ammonium hydroxide may be more weaker comparatively acetic acid, right? Then how can you identify? So that we can calculate the acidic strength, that depends on the dissociation constant, mostly Ka values, Ka, Kb. This part we will discuss later whenever we enter into the chapter the ionic equilibrium. Till then just you remember, Nana, we have the Ka and Kb, where Ka means acid dissociation constant and Kb means base dissociation constant. This is acid dissociate constant, and this is the base dissociate constant. Again, based on this constant value, if higher the Ka value, more acidic in nature, higher the Kb value, more basic in nature. we can say that depends on the K. These are the experimental values. So, we have the three conditions here. First one, if Ka is greater than Kb, then we can say it is acidic in nature. And the second case, if Ka is less than Kb, then we can say it is basic in nature, the resultant solution. And the third case, if Ka is equals to Kb, then only it is a neutral. We cannot say initially the salt of weak acid and weak base is a neutral. We cannot say. Okay, it depends on Ka, Kb values. And if it is acidic, further the pH values less than 7 if Ka greater than, and this is pH greater than 7 in this case, and pH equal to 7. And accordingly the litmus conversion, red to blue or blue to red, are no response to the litmus, you can identify. And this is special case about the salt of weak acid and weak base number. And this is also you should remember. So, like this we can classify the salts based on their acid and base strengths. Understood this one? So, now I will ask you some basic questions regarding this discussion. Tell me. Find out acidic salt among the given. You have given some salt like this, KCl, Na3PO4, sodium carbonate, okay. There are list of 10 salts are there. So, among these 10, which are acidic salts?
3, 4, 8, 9 and 10.
3,
4,
4,
8,
8,
9.
9 and 10. See, what about KCl, Nana? First of all, what is acidic salt? Just you recollect it.
The salt which can be
Yes.
ionization.
Yes. Simply, it should produce one H plus ion, right, in its ionization, after first ionization. And here KCl, no, even though there is no hydrogen here, and here there is no hydrogen here itself, and sodium carbonate also no hydrogen to release, and here Na2HPO3, we have, even though hydrogen is there, but this hydrogen is non-ionizable, already we have discussed. And here also Na2HPO2, even though hydrogen is there, but not, this is I think Na, this compound itself is Na2, this is Na, and I wrote this one NaH2. NaH2PO2. So again here even the two hydrogens, they are non-ionizable in nature, and this one, this hydrogen is ionizable, this hydrogen is ionizable, here this hydrogen ionizable. Okay, understood? So they'll ask the questions like this. The last some competitive examination, this type of questions came already. There is one type of model, and the second type of questions we will see. Which of the following compounds does not respond for litmus test? You will take some list of compounds here. See, these are the some compounds and which does not respond for the litmus test. Almost 12 compounds are there: NaCl, NaOH, KNO3, KHS and so on. Now you check here. Now tell me first one, NaCl. Will it give? No response towards the litmus test. Sodium hydroxide, yes. Which can convert here red to blue. KNO3, will it respond? No. No. Here potassium, this is the salt from the potassium hydroxide and HNO3. So KOH, HNO3. So both are the stronger bases and strong acids. It is a salt of strong acid, strong base. KHS, so what is the nature of the solution here? KHS, tell me the combination. Potassium, hydrogen, sulfur. How it can be formed? Na? It is a combination of potassium hydroxide and hydrogen sulfide. Potassium hydroxide is a strong base, as we know. Hydrogen sulfide is a weaker acid. This is not a strong acid. Now it is a combination of strong base, weak acid. So resultant solution is basic in nature. So hence it can respond for the litmus test. Now, so basic in nature means it will convert red to blue. Now fifth one, basic or acidic? Is again basic, so it will respond. Again red to blue. FeCl3, how FeCl3 can be formed? It is acidic salt. It is a combination of ferric hydroxide HCl. So resultant solution nature is acidic. So it will convert blue litmus to red. It can show the it can give the litmus test. Yes, what we are doing? We are doing reverse, I think, right? Then we will change the question which will respond for the litmus test. Whatever it is. Anyhow, you understood, right, the concept? So we have taken question 1, but we are doing something. Okay, anyhow, forget about the question, just we are checking this. Now, seventh one, ammonium nitrate. It is a combination of ammonium hydroxide, nitric acid. So resultant solution is acidic in nature. So it can respond for the litmus test. So blue to red. And H2SO4 nana directly is a strong acid, so acidic. So blue to red. Calcium sulfate, neutral or base? Is it basic or neutral? Neutral one. It is a calcium hydroxide and sulfuric acid. So both are the stronger only. Neutral. And this rubidium nitrate, RBN. Again, this is neutral. Why? Because rubidium hydroxide and nitric acid, the combination. Both are the stronger only. KClO4, potassium perchlorate. KClO4 means potassium perchlorate. This one, what is the nature? Neutral. This is a combination of potassium hydroxide and perchloric acid. HClO4, among all acids, this is a very stronger acid, even compared to the sulfuric acid HClHNO3. This is a stronger acid, perchloric acid, a very stronger acid. So neutral. Sodium carbonate, it is a basic, it is a combination of NaOH and H2C. Okay, like these questions can be asked, means among the given salt, which is response for the litmus test and which is not responsible, or which convert blue to red or red to blue, whatever the way. Understood? And this is about salts classification and types of salts. So you should remember, Nana, this part again we will discuss mostly, same theory will come as it is, but apart from this we will apply some numerical part. This here we discussed only the qualitative, and quantitative information we will discuss in the ionic equilibrium chapter. Then you can little bit comfortable, if you are good now itself, at the time you can go very little bit smoother. And next, one more subtopic we will see here, acidic radicals and basic radicals. Let me explain. Acidic radical and basic radical. So first of all, radical. And here radical is different. Radical means it is an atom or group of atoms generally which carries the charge. Any substance which carries the charge, that is called radical. So generally they can carry two types of the charges. One is a positive and negative. If no charge, only single electron, the type of radicals we can call free radical, chargeless particles. But about the free radicals we will discuss at the time of organic, and here about the salt case we will use this radical. It is an atom or group of atoms like polyatomic ions, a group of atoms. Same or different element, which carries charge. So the charge may be positive or negative. Example, let us take few. Cl minus, it is a one type of atom. SO foot 2 minus, combination of a group of atoms, and calcium 2 plus, ammonium plus. These are few examples, etc. These are the radicals. Now, what is the acidic radical and what is the basic radical here? And before that, I will give the basic idea about the salt. Let me take one salt. Generally, how the salt can be formed? The combination of acid and base. We know that salt carries two types of the charges. One is a positive ion, negative ion, right? Two parts. Let me take an example of sodium chloride here. How it can be formed from HCl and NaOH. And this sodium chloride, this is Na plus and this is Cl minus. From where you will get this sodium plus? From the sodium hydroxide. From where we will get this Cl minus? From HCl. So this Na plus, this is a positive charge, and this positive charge is coming from acid only, hence this charge is called acidic radical. Sorry, basic radical. Positive is coming from NaOH, I wrote wrong here. So positive is coming from where? Base. So the positive charge species generally they are called basic radicals. And negative. Negative means what here? Cl minus is a negative. From where it is coming? Cl minus from acid. So negative charge carrying substances are called acidic radicals. Understood now? What is acidic radical and what is the basic radical? Simply the radical which carries the negative charge is called acidic radical, and the radical which carries positive charge is a basic radical. Why this is acidic and why this is basic mean? This is the reason. Why? Because generally the acidic radical can be come from the acid part, and the positive charge or basic radical can be generated from the base. So accordingly we can define. Let me write the definitions here for better understanding purpose. Acidic radicals and basic radicals. So radical which carry negative charge are called acidic radicals. And the radical which carries positive charge are called basic radicals. This is the one. Then examples for this acidic and basic radical depends on the magnitude of the charge. If it carries 1 place, 2 place, 3 place and 4 place, we can classify them like monopositive, dipositive, tripositive, tetrapositive. Similarly anions, mononegative, binegative, trinegative, like that we can classify. Means monovalent acidic radical, bivalent acidic radical, trivalent acidic radical, valency, charge nothing but valency only. Similarly monobasic, dibasic, tribasic radicals. That will take up the list of radicals here. So based on the list of radical we can form the corresponding salt. If I take Cl minus, the acidic radical, and some iron 3 plus, tripositive basic radical, and the two radicals combined together it can form one salt FeCl3. So if you remember at least the list of acidic and basic radicals, we can easily identify what type of the salts we will get it, isn't it? Let us take a list of acidic radicals and a list of basic radicals. Again here classification based on the charge present in that. We will go with first list of acidic radicals. So depends on the charge, we can classify them as the monovalent, acidic radicals, tell me a few examples. Or else I'll write here, just you can note it down, and their names also very important here. H minus is hydride. Okay. And all halides, fluoride, chloride, bromide, simply X minus means F minus or Cl minus, Br minus, I minus, simply they are halides. If it is the fluorine, fluoride, for chlorine, chloride, bromine, bromide, and iodine, iodide. OH minus, hydroxide, NO3 minus, nitrate, NO2 minus, nitrite, ClO minus, hypochlorite, Cn minus, cyanide, so all comes under fluoride. This generally XO minus, they are called hypo, and XO3 minus only halo, you can take XO4 minus per halo, and XO2 minus also. Let me take here XO2 minus XO. 4 types of salts. This is hypo, and this is only halous, and this is halate, this is perhalate. Last 4 types of salts. Mostly we will use for the chlorines here. If you take bromine, iodine also, no problem. Means if I take IO4 minus, like just like ClO4 minus IO4, this is periodate. If I take IO3 minus iodate, this also will use iodate, periodate, IO3 minus iodate, few salts. Okay, these are the few examples of monovalent anionic radicals. Few listed. I think most of these anions you are already familiar, I hope, about this. Let me take some of the bivalent acidic radicals. Means which carries 2 negative charge. Let us take few list of bivalent acidic radicals. Mostly commonly used example, this carbonate,
Sulfide.
yes, S2 minus, sulfide, SO4 2 minus, sulfate, and if you take SO3 2 minus, this is sulfite. So the difference sulfide, sulfite, sulfate. O2 minus, oxide. O2 2 minus is the peroxide.
Thiosulfate.
Thiosulfate,
Oxalate.
S2O3 2 minus. Oxalate, C2O4 2 minus.
Biphosphate.
Biphosphate,
Manganate.
manganate, MnO4 minus, and monovalent, that comes under. Chromate.
Manganate is MnO4 minus. Manganate
Ah, yes, okay, okay.
minus.
Yes, yes, yes. Dichromate, manganate, type trivalent. Trivalent acidic radical, so which carries 3 negative charge. Tell me examples, Nana, here. This is phosphate, PO4 3 minus 8 will come, phosphate. PO3 3 will not come, right? PO3 2 minus H3PO2. H3PO3, we have only 2 hydrogens are replaceable. You can take other borate. Nitride N3 minus. Similarly, like nitride, we can take phosphide also. Okay, let us. Mostly we will use phosphate. Mostly we will use frequently. This borate, nitride, phosphide. Few examples. NO3 minus, that is a monovalent nitrate. That part we discussed already. Monovalent, that one. And the fourth type, tetravalent. Acidic radicals, means which carries 4 negative charges. You can take carbides, mostly C4 minus. Some complexes, this one. This is ferrocyanide. So like this we can take few examples. Mostly we will use this in the tetravalent. Tetravalent very rarely. Mostly monovalent, bivalent. Very, very important. This is about acidic radical. Acidic radical. Next we have the basic radicals similarly. So we will see in the next class the list of basic radicals, and next few examples how the salt can be formed by the combination of these acidic and basic radicals. Okay, no? Okay, right.